I was thinking yesterday, and I've thought about this more than once because I have gone through many transitions spiritually, many changes, transformations. I have done the deep dive and the self work that it takes to break down and build back up. And the breaking down of what you've learned is a lot harder than the breaking down the demo of a building. It's a lot harder. You don't go in with a big ass metal ball and knock it down. You have to go within and start digging. You have to go within and start digging. And as you dig, you gotta know that you are pretty much digging in your own personal graveyard. Your own personal graveyard of emotions, memories, things that happened, whether in this life or in another, energies that you are identifying with, energies that are still attached to you, or that you are attached to. And this is so important to put into perspective, because I have met people that deny completely, full denial, that the past, their childhood, affects them today. And to me, that's not crazy at all. That's not insane at all. The past history does repeat itself. And so how is it that in your childhood you were the most vulnerable? In your childhood, you were so open to receiving information, energies, beliefs. And in being so vulnerable, you were a sponge. Children are sponges. They're soaking everything in. And that is creating the base for your life, for your adult life, for your teenage self, for your adult self, even for your older self. You are creating the base at childhood. And I was talking to my husband about this, how you can change your mindset, but if you have not changed your heart set, you can only go so far. You need to have them both on the same page, because if they are working in completely different agendas, if they have completely different agendas, your head and your heart, then you will never feel whole, because there's a missing link. And that missing link is that digging that you need to do. That missing link is the connection. And this is where what I was thinking about, this is where that comes in. I was thinking about how the dynamic between women and men, the dynamic between how women like to and have, and even I've done the same, and have been like blaming men for the dating scene being so awful. And before, I used to feed into this, like, at some point I did feed into the men ain't shit script. I did. Although I was still wishing to find the one for me, I was feeding into this. Once I started learning about law of attraction and all of this, that it was something I had to break down and like detach myself from, because if you want something to exist, you need to believe it exists, and you can't generate a belief or a signal or frequency that contradicts that, because you're never going to get it. So I was thinking, if only women knew that the more that they blame men, right, the more that they deny that they actually do want to have a wholesome relationship, a relationship with masculine energy, with healthy masculine energy. If women understood that this blame game is only steering them further and further away from what they truly want, it would completely change their lives. See, the way the universe works is that if everything is frequency and you attract the frequency that you are emitting, and you are in a victim mindset, in a victim state of consciousness, what you will attract are situations that will keep you in that state of consciousness, and you will attract someone that is also a victim, that is also vibing in that same frequency. First, you need to accept that you in fact do want a good man by your side. You need to accept that you do. And then you have to start doing the breaking down of your beliefs on masculine energy and a man's role in your life. I was a deep feminist, like hardcore feminist. Women on top, men on the bottom. Like it makes sense. And hello, like we are the ones that bring life into the world. But after said ascension, I come to understand something that I didn't before. And men and women are not to be in competition. That's not the point. That was never the point. We're not the same. There's nothing to compete where you don't compare. You can't compare these two. You can't compare men and women. Each one has their strengths and their weaknesses, and they are meant to complement each other. They're not supposed to go at war with each other. That wreaks havoc. That creates chaos. That creates imbalance. The way you see it in the world now, but it also creates an imbalance within. Both men and women carry, they have within them, we have within us, masculine energy and feminine energy. Now, let's take off the masculine and feminine so you don't get all flustered with this. And think of it as potential energy and kinetic energy. I hope you took physics. If you didn't, use Google. Potential energy is feminine energy. Think of it as a massive cosmic womb. A womb, you know what a womb is? Where children are made? Yeah, womb. Okay, a massive cosmic womb, like an ocean, huge, of energy, all kinds of energy. From this energy, everything is created. Absolutely everything. But you see, this potential energy, it does not simply move on its own. It doesn't. She is powerful. She is power. But she needs kinetic energy, masculine, to push forward, to move something, to have the clash of energies to create something. Out of her womb, out of her potential energy, masculine comes to create something, to push something forward. They work together. One can't exist without the other. It's like the head and the body. Masculine, head. Body, feminine. Your body holds all your potential energy. And your head has the power of the kinetic energy to push things forward, to get you to the place you need to be, to get you to do the things that you need to do. That is how it works. And going back to if only women knew, that you will find the man of your dreams when, of course, one, break down the beliefs that you have on men. Break down the memories, dig within yourself to find out why in the world you keep attracting the same kind of man in different bodies. Emotionally unavailable men that are flaky, or men that you can't trust, whatever your case is. Go within, because you are attracting it. You need to be responsible for what you attract into your life. You need to accept that responsibility because it is yours. You don't like something that you attract into your life, then there is something within you that is vibing that frequency, because that's the only way it attracted it. And don't get me wrong, you could be at a super high vibe and still attract flies. But now, if you're at a high vibe, then you have to know if you have a healthy masculine energy, or let's not call it healthy, just masculine energy. Because the opposite of masculine energy is, it's more like, it's not a disconnect, but the opposite, when you don't have masculine energy, you're kind of working on survival energy. Yeah. That's the one that's keeping you going and keeping you alive and keeping you from just breaking completely down. It's not masculine energy that's moving you forward. It's survival. So find those pieces within you and replace them with what you do want, and focus on that. Focus on what you do want and ask for it. Ask for it, because the universe is listening. Your body is listening. So ask for it. And don't say, I don't want him to be like this, because you're on what you focus on. What you focus on expands. So I want him to be like this. I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. Ask for it once. That's all you need. With your full heart present, ask for it once. And then you're going to proceed. You're not going to sit around like a sitting duck waiting for, like, what's her name? Like Fiona in the tower, just waiting. No, you are not a princess in distress that needs saving. We are going to leave this victim mindset behind. You don't need saving. You are not a victim. You may have lived things that you would not have preferred living. You may have wanted a father that was maybe or more present or more this or more that, whatever. But you don't need saving. It's so important to understand this, because the moment that you understand that you are looking for someone to save you, you are looking for something to save you. Whether it be a man, whether it be a vacation, whether it be a bag, shoes, a job, you're looking for someone to save you. And then once that arrives, then I'll be happy. And then once that arrives, then I'll be living my dream life. But that's not how it works. That's not how it works. You are your man. You have to understand that we carry both energies. We simply embodied one of them. We have genitals X, and the others have genitals Y. But we are all man. Woman, meaning man, and womb. And they are simply man. So got the womb, made a simpler version. There is man. That's why men are far simpler than we are. Because they are a simpler version. It's like when you simplify a fraction. It's exactly it. But where was I? You're not going to be a sitting duck, because we are not distressed princesses waiting to be rescued. You don't need rescuing. You are your man. Okay? But none of this hyper independence and I don't need men. That right there is a wounded little girl that didn't have daddy. Or daddy was there, but he wasn't there. But that is a wounded little girl that feels like she needs to have this shield on. That she needs to be this tough cookie to get through life. Because up to this point, she has gotten you this far. And we love her. Trust me. We love her. We appreciate her. We honor her. But speak to yourself. And let yourself know, let that part of you know, that little girl in you that grew up and learned very quickly, I need to be hyper independent. I don't need anybody. I definitely don't need men. I could do this on my own. Tell her, teach her that she doesn't need to be that tough anymore. Let her know that she can soften. And that in softening, it does not mean that she is weak. It means that she is learning to rely on something far greater. Far bigger than what she knew. She got that far with what she knew. She created, she survived the best way that she could. But now it's time to go to the next level. And now we need to talk to her and let her know and build a relationship with this childhood self that created this hyper independence and this shield. This warrior-like. Let her know, hey, we don't need to be this tough anymore. We don't need to be this rigid. Because now we are going to learn how to truly protect ourselves. Because nobody taught us to protect ourselves. That is what the masculine is there for. Like I said before, I was a hardcore feminist. Where to me, men were like second tier. But I understand, after having a good man, a good one, which I manifested because I said, it's possible for someone else, it's possible for me. And I convinced myself, if I exist, my other half exists. And so I want him like this and like this and like that. Didn't miss a single beat. Everything I requested, delivered. And while being with him, I have learned and seen something completely different than what I had lived before. I have learned to value man via being with him. Now, I'm not saying he was perfect off the bat, but it was all a result of me believing and asking and working on myself. And the most recent lesson, and it's a lesson I'm actually putting into practice now. And also I can thank my Saturn return for helping me out with this. It has all, I feel like the universe just works in my favor. It's my world and everyone's just living in it. Because it's so perfect. The way my transformations have been going and the transitions of planets, it's been absolutely aligned. Like yesterday was a full moon in Virgo and it was the eclipse. And I'm a Virgo moon. And I'm like you just want me to you just want me to you want me to win. The universe just wants me to win. It could be my way of thinking, my way of vibing that makes it so, but take notes. Where was I? My man, the value of man. And the most recent lesson, the most recent insight that I've gotten is that masculine energy is not this like this fierce, like, no, it's not something to be scared of. Like, if it instills fear, that's not masculine energy. That is survival energy. That is our animalistic instincts, because we are part of the animal kingdom. We have survival instincts. And most people live on those survival instincts, on that vibe, in that state of consciousness, the survival consciousness. But masculine energy, it's kind, it's generous, it's not hyper independent, but it does like to be self-sufficient. It's understanding and patient. And it's like a gentle father, a gentle big brother. It's someone that, or something, it's an energy that teaches you to show up, teaches you to step forward on these dreams. You got all this potential energy, but don't leave it there. Do something. Do something with it. Create something with it. Push forward in the most gentle way. It doesn't scream. It doesn't push. In the most gentle way. It is gentle. Real power is gentle. It's not bombs and screaming and chaotic. Real power is gentle. Intuition, gentle. Masculine energy, gentle. It's actually very gentle. Take Mother Nature, for example. Nature is too a mix of masculine and feminine energy, potential and kinetic energy working together. Now, if you are out in nature, is the vibe anything but gentle and nurturing? Is it? Because anywhere, mountains, waterfalls, it's all gentle, nurturing. It's firm, it's secure. And this is this dynamic, and we are supposed to be a reflection of these energies. I know the world is very off balance, but that is what we are supposed to reflect. And feminine energy is not just sitting pretty and letting the world just happen around us or wait around for a man because we don't have two hands of our own. Absolutely not. We are womb man. We are man and the womb. We are both. Double the power, babe. You are your own man, and you have to get to know yourself deeply. You have to go within and break down what is there so that you can build yourself up, but from your preferences. Completely tear away how society or culture or mom and dad, friends, social groups, whatever has created who you are today, if it is influenced, which it most likely is, it's influenced by what you've lived growing up, then where is the authentic you? Where is the you that is not someone else's preferences, not what someone else told you to be like, what someone else liked, and so you like it too because they like it, because that's what we do? What are your preferences? What do you like? And it's these things that we have to do to truly find that perfect marriage. And I'm not talking about a man and a woman. I'm talking about your masculine and feminine energy. That is the perfect marriage. Your own masculine and feminine energy are the perfect marriage. Think of man as head, like I said, and your body is woman, is feminine energy. Your potential energy exists down here and your head exists up here. Your masculine energy exists up here. These two need to work together. Work on that. Focus on that. That is, I feel like for so long, the world has been so heartbroken. Hopeless romantics. It's so hard to find music, songs that talk about love in a good way. Most songs are about lonely hearts. And it breaks my heart because I'm like, that's not the truth for everyone, but it's the truth for most people. And it's because of this thing right here. Their head and their body are living different lives. The head has one agenda, the body has a different world, it has a different agenda. And they might get along on some things, but on many others, on most other things, no. If you're not aware of the potential energy that you hold, you don't know yourself. All these teachings and these public speakers that say, oh, everything is mindset, mindset, mindset. Baby girl, you can change your mindset, and that could get you pretty far. But if you don't dive deep within you to find out what potential energy you carry, you will only get so far. Because your mind can only get you so far. I know from experience. Your mind can only get you so far. And once you get to that roof, that ceiling, that is when you will feel the pullback. Like if your body is pulling you back because it's not at the same frequency that your head is vibing at. Your head is here generating good thoughts and all, or your mindset has changed. You believe in things differently, but there are memories that your body is holding. Memories which are frequency. Imagine like knots of frequency that your body is holding, or missing links. like shadow selves, which are pretty much parts of you that you dissociated from. They are emotions that you could not express in that moment that it occurred, that something happened. You didn't know how to express it. They are unexpressed emotions. And what happened was that a shadow self was created from yourself. It's the dissociated part. It like doesn't separate because it goes with you everywhere. They are your shadows. But in that deep dive, you get to know those shadows and you get to know the memories. You get to relive the memories and remember and witness them, because more than anything, your inner child needs a witness to that thing that they could not express, an adult. And you are your adult now. Now you are your parent, and you must parent yourself all over again so that you can create the most authentic version of you. The you that truly loves and lives life with a full heart, with an open heart, which is the most essential part of this. And once you do have these energies working together, the masculine and the feminine, you open your heart. It will lead you to open your heart. And once you open your heart, once you connect to your heart, because right here is the connection of both worlds. Once you do that connection, your entire perspective, that is where transformation happens. Your world will change from there. You will attract easier. You will everything. You will see things differently. You will feel things differently. That change, that thing that you are waiting for, that rescuing, it will all go away once your heart is opened. That missing link is your heart. It's the connection between these two energies to open your heart so that it can flow with ease. But as long as there is disharmony within these two energies, you will always feel like you're missing something. Like something's missing. And that's why it happens where if it's a woman, she feels like a man is missing in her life. And it's actually just her masculine energy and her heart. A piece of her heart. That is a piece of her heart. Her own masculine energy is a piece of her heart. The other piece is feminine energy. And this goes to, I didn't talk about this, but just because they have genitals Y, it does not mean that they are using their masculine energy. Like I said, they could just be on survival mode. And when someone is in survival mode, every man for himself. Like, relationships are chaotic, dishonest. They are hellish, to say the least. When both men or women are in survival mode, you live in this dramatic triangle of blame, victimhood, attack. We don't want that. But this happens because that inner child that we were talking about, that inner child is right there, screaming in whatever way it can, acting in whatever way it can to protect itself. These men, these genitals Y, they grew old, but they didn't grow up. Yeah. Let me say that again. They grew old, but they did not grow up. If he wants you because you clean, you cook, you do laundry, you care for him, that is a child. He wants a mom, not a wife. It makes absolutely no sense to me when a woman counts her husband as another child of hers. It makes no sense to me. Don't be her. No. That is not a man. That is not what masculine is supposed to be doing in your life. He is your equal. He is meant to be your equal, and he is meant to be your support in all things. You're supposed to support each other. Equal in all things. He cooks, he cleans, he does laundry, all the things, just like you do all the things. And only in that way will homes find harmony. If that man relies on you to do all these things, and that is simply the dynamic, then you are in a relationship where both your inner little girl and his inner little boy are injured. They have wounds, and those wounds have attracted to each other because like attracts like. And now they've created a life together, or a relationship. And it's these common links, it's these wounds that we have in common that keeps you together. But now let me ask you this. Do you want the pain that you've been through to be what you have in common with your partner? Or do you want your heart to be what you have in common with your partner? Well, not your heart, because your hearts could be in the same frequency. More like, do you want your preferences? Do you want what your desires? Do you want your desires to be what you have in common with your partner? Your desired state of mind, your desired heart set, your desired life, your desired dreams. Not what you settled for, but what you truly desire. Your biggest, wildest dreams. Both of you. Passion, laughter. May these things be the things that keep you together and the reasons why you two are attracted to each other, but not that you were both abandoned in one way or another. You understand where I'm going with this? Because that's usually the case. Similar backgrounds, they will be attracted to each other. And let's say, well, no, they're not similar, they're different. They're similar, trust me, in some way. Oh, but their parents were there, but my parents weren't. It doesn't, just because physically they were there, it doesn't mean that they were there emotionally. And that's usually the case, that it's emotionally unavailable parents is what creates emotionally unavailable children, which later become adults. And the cycle continues. It's a pattern. That's how we create patterns through generations. And it's karmic energy that we need to work with. I'll leave the karmic energy for a different topic because I like karma. I like talking about karma. She's very important in all our lives. Plays a very big role. So I'll leave you with that. Really get to thinking, get to digging, journal, meditate. When you journal, ask questions. Ask yourself questions. Ask God questions, or the universe, whatever you believe in. Ask questions. I think that's why, that's one of the reasons that I have gotten so far, and the reason why, I don't know, maybe I'm so damn smart, is because I ask a lot of questions, because I don't, could never be me to stay with a doubt or with something I want to know. I don't just like stay there just sitting pretty with it. No, I find out. And there's so many resources to learn, to grow, to educate ourselves. Psychology, neuroscience, the nervous system, how the body works and holding memory. All of this, it's a science as much as it is a spiritual science, a spiritual explanation, a belief. It's literally, it's a science. Like, if you're a very logical person that needs facts, you can find that. You can read Joe Dispenza. He's really good. You can read, I always recommend The Chimp Paradox. That's really about neuroscience that teaches you what part of your brain handles what. And there you learn what part of your brain is the one that handles survival mechanisms, which I will also be talking about, because if you don't read the book, then at least you'll listen to me, hopefully. But anyways, it's easier said than done, because if it was easy, then the world would be very different. Easy is doing exactly what we're doing now, which is turning a blind eye and saying, that's not my problem, or has nothing to do with me, or that doesn't apply to me, etc., etc. That is easy. It's easy to turn a blind eye. It's easy to blame. It's easy to act the victim, because the victim can never take responsibility. As long as you are a victim, you are not responsible. And that's easy. It's easy to say, that's your responsibility, not mine. And so if that's the case, that you would rather have it easy, then don't complain when the man by your side isn't really what you want. It's kind of what you settled for. When the job or the life that you live is not really what you would prefer most, it's kind of really what you settled for. It's good enough. Don't complain. If you have any questions, because this topic, I feel like I simplified it a lot. If you have any questions, anything you would want me to talk about, any topics specifically, please let me know in the comments section. I would love to hear your thoughts, or your thoughts on this episode, your take, anything like that. Spark a conversation. Love to chat. I'm a big yapper, but only on these kind of subjects. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Thank you for staying with me all the way to the end. And I will see you next time. Love ya.